Welcome to the Sonepar Safety Compliance Platform. This short video is going to give you a quick insight to the amazing transformation that Sonepar are embracing across the globe. This will affect branches and distribution centers, and in this video we'll be showing you some of the experiences that you will get in those branches, in your distribution centers, to help you become more efficient and more focused on keeping our people safe. So how does it actually work? So you will receive a welcome pack, and it will be a very easy process to onboard you into the platform. As maybe a champion that will be responsible for the management of your country or your branches or distribution centers, or you'll be a super user on site, in a branch, in a distribution center, to make sure that we get the best of this investment. So how does it work in practice? So what you're seeing here is the web portal, which is very easy to access. To access that, you will very simply, if I log out and I need to log in, I'll either log in with my email address or password, or I will use single sign-on. And using single sign-on, it will take me into the platform. You also have here quick access to your profile. So here, for example, you can change your password, you can change your PIN number, so you'll understand later that within the platform we'll be using things like QR codes to give everybody in our organization access to the platform. But they don't need to load the software onto their smartphone or into their laptop, they can just simply access it through a QR code. And that's what this PIN number will be for. Down here, for example, you'll be able to change your language on your platform. So one of the benefits of this investment we're making is that we will be able to access every language we need across the globe to make sure that we can truly benefit from a multilingual platform. So let's now switch back now to the training site to see how the platform will work in practice. So this is a view for a champion. If you are a super user, that we have a couple of less buttons so you wouldn't get Power BI, etc. But as a champion, you have access to all of these panels. The panels that you see in the middle here, your quick accesses to your incident management solutions, your checklist, audits, inspections, your risk assessments and quality control. And then we've got micro-learning. So these are the learning modules that helps you learn how to use the platform very easily. So now if I share my mobile phone, this is the option you have to use Android or iOS. And once you log in through the link or you've downloaded the app, you'll simply come in here, and you'll be able to choose which of the branches or countries that you're operating in. And then once you've done that, you'll just press submit, and it gives you full access to those forms relevant to your branch or distribution center, or if you are a country manager, all of your branches, all of your distribution centers, or if at a global level you get access to everything. Most importantly, the data is restricted to those that are allowed to see it. So branches can't see other branches' data, exactly the same distribution centers will only see their own data. So everything is highly secure in what we're doing. Also, you'll notice on here we have an offline mode. So where you have those circumstances where you cannot get access to the Wi-Fi or your 4G, 5G, then you can go into offline mode and still continue to do your process. As we mentioned, the multilingual capability of our platform is really important for Sonepar. So as you can see here, we can have as many languages as needed to make sure we can be very efficient in what we do. Once I've selected my country here, we're going to be just showing Sonepar head office. But if I was in the country, I'd select my country, I'd select my branch or distribution center, and it would take me into my digital forms. So here you can see a library of incident management, checklists, risk assessments, micro-learning. There will be all of these available in your own local languages as well. So that's really important to note, that the platform will operate in the languages that you require to be successful in your countries, in your distribution centers, and in your branches. So let's have a look at how this works in the hands of a user. So let's look at incident management to start with. So if I tap into that, I can access the incident management solution. And the first thing I will see is which incidents are in progress and which have been submitted. So this gives me a view of all the incidents that I'm allowed to see. This may just be restricted to my branch or to myself, but here I can see what's in progress, what's been submitted. And if I want to submit a new incident that's just happened, I have very simply pressed the black circle with a cross at the bottom you can see here. And this allows me to create a very fast, quick capture of what's going on. So here I can tap in here and say who's it reported by. So I'll stick in my name here. And then if I need to confirm my line manager, I can use the speech to text as an option. Paul Cook. And then I can come down here and I can select very easily what the event classification is. So here I'm going to say it's a lost time injury, and I'm going to say there is property damage so that this is easy to select, and we've got good standardization in where we're reporting. Now it allows me to use speech to text to capture what's happened. I could either type or use speech to text, and that's really important because it allows you to be fast and efficient and concentrate on the moment of what you need to capture. So event description. Major incident has occurred in the warehouse and we require someone from the safety compliance team to help evaluate the situation. Specifically, there was a forklift truck that collided with racking and a member of staff has been injured. Now what I might need to do, and we would highly recommend that you now capture photos and videos of the event. So here you have on the side, 3-dot menu. I can touch that. I can capture a picture to start with. I'm now going to capture, for example, a video. So let's say we want to capture a video, very easy captured. There we go. And so you have all the evidence very quickly captured into the process. So the other thing is we want to do is now we need to say whereabouts this happened. We say it happened in a warehouse, we can change the date if we need to. But ideally we want you capturing things as they happen. You can change the time as you need to, very easy. And also it says their warehouse conditions that we can say effectively it was dry, and there was really pretty decent lighting, say. And then it says immediate actions taken. So again you can either text that, type that in through your keyboard, or you can just touch the screen here and start to type exactly what you need to capture. So as you can see, the speech-to-text is very good at capturing exactly what needs to be said. And this is one of the big powerful parts of our platform to make it easy for you to concentrate on what needs to be captured. Okay, and then we come down here and then we just quickly say what staff category is involved and we say a permanent member of staff. And that is how quick it is for us to capture information. And of course at any point remembering that you have the 3-dot menu on the side, you can take pictures, take videos, access your gallery, you can also view info, and that gives you instructions of what you need to be doing in that category. So here we capture a picture, maybe evidence in that the area has been cordoned off, made safe, waiting for the next stage of the investigation. Once that's been captured, I save that into the system. And that's now, as you'll see, will appear at the top there as open. It's got the name of the individual there. And now that allows me to open that up. And it gives me, effectively, you see there's an email alert just come in that's telling me that an incident just happened. So anybody that needs to be aware of incidents as they happen will get an email alert. Now I can go in and I can start to follow all of the critical procedures, often legally required. So first thing we're going to do is injured person details. And again, for speed of this video, I'm not going to fill it all in. I think you understand how it works now, but we capture quickly the information. We have a very interactive body map there, for the first aider to be able to select essentially the standardization that's important in the way that we're reporting. I can tap the screen of where the injured party was injured, and I can capture then exactly how they were injured, what their injuries were, and any further information can easily be captured also just by simply writing in there. So once I've done that, I can then, obviously this is a mandatory, so all the fields in this document is mandatory. So you can't save this because we haven't filled in everything else, but you get the idea of the interaction that will be happening in the experiences it will get. There'll be witness statements that you'll capture. Again, this will be a much easier process, and trying to get things written down by hand, you can simply hand this over to the witness and say, could you please provide us the details of what you witnessed and how you witnessed the accident occurring? And what sorts of things should we be aware of based on what you witnessed? So again, that is another item that makes people more relaxed to be able to tell you what's going on and what they experience. So coming out of this, you've then got things like, if there's an environmental incident, you can capture the videos. Again, the functionality within what we have is very agile, very simplistic. So as you can see here, I can capture the environmental issues with simple drop-down selections. I can then also, when I need to give details, there might be multiple aspects of the environmental incident. I can just keep add another to make sure the quantitativeness of what we're doing is very easy to capture. So again, hopefully you can see the simplicity of what we have. These digital processes are the processes that you're already using today. These are the global standards that's been set for the organization. And then you can see things like investigation by the team. So these are really important aspects, particularly if a particular incident turns into a claim. We need to make sure we have all the information captured. And then obviously we're getting into our root cause analysis. So in here, for example, or go into a much deeper understanding of what happened within the incident. You have the facility, for example, you'll see there's a folder selector there. I can upload documents. So there may be external documents that we have internally that we might want to upload. I can simply capture those, and they will upload into the folder. You can do that either through the mobile app or directly on the desktop itself. So again, lots of functionality here. The other thing that's really important, that as you go through these digital forms, you'll see there's another feature called actions, and that allows us to automate everything that's going on. So if there are actions to be emailed out or a WhatsApp message to let somebody know there's an urgent action required, you can just simply say, we're capturing an incident. We have an owner that needs to deal with it. So let's say that's Paul Richardson. Please, can you immediately come on site and make sure that all aspects of this investigation has been carried out and completed and signed off? Okay, and then I can give that a date. So I need that done by tomorrow, and I can give it a high priority. And again, that's the simplicity you have within the platform to make sure there's full automation, that people are taking ownership and accountability of what's going on. So we'll come out of this. And again, the final bit is corrective action and preventative measures that we need to take. And this is very dynamic in the way it works. So here, lots of instructions, but again you have now your 3x3 risk matrix, you can tap into that. And so you get some very interactive methods of making sure that we are dynamically evaluating the situation. So as you go down, there's the 4x4 version of the risk level. And then you've got the 5x5 risk level version as well. So again, recognizing that this is a very intuitive and easy way for us to do what we do and make sure we're keeping our people safe. So that's how we do incident management. We also have the ability to issue incident management through QR codes. So as a champion, I can come in here to maintenance, and I want to create a QR code. I can simply do so just by clicking on this here. And I can now generate a QR code. Now that means I can issue that incident reporting process, including all the inner forms, by that QR code without even having to get my staff or my contractors to be able to upload the software onto their smartphones. So again, very agile in the way that we are able to work. So let's come back. So you've seen how incident management works. The checklist part of so we talk about inspections and quality and standards. So here, for example, allows us, if I move to my mobile phone again, so let's say we now want to look at checklists. This gives us a library of the standard safety inspection audits that are being carried out globally. So if I do, for example, a general warehouse safety inspection, we won't fill this in completely, but once again, you see all of the submitted safety inspections that have occurred. You're also going to be seeing those that are in progress. If I want to create a new inspection here, I just simply complete the information here, just by saying who the manager is, Paul Richardson. And then we can capture the date of the inspection, the date of the previous inspection. So I might want to go back and say that was in December 25th. And I save that. And once again, you get now all of your inner form processes that allows you to be able to complete the in-depth safety checks that you're doing. So again, within these files here, you'll see your step through things like general points. So you'll walk through that. And this will also give you lots of interactive images to make sure you've got visual aids to help you with the process that you're following. The other thing to note that, there's always clear instructions that's helping you guide you through the process. You can always at any point touch the side here, and you can view info, and that brings up information about what you're doing. It might be you need some more understanding of how to complete this process. So again, you can see the whole process is very interactive, very visual. And it's specifically Sonepar's design and desire and the way that we want to carry out our processes. So hopefully that gets you excited about how this solution is operating. What we will do now is just show you what this looks like on the web. You've seen the mobile in action. So let's have a look at the web. So you saw us completing some incident reporting. Let's look at one that we have in progress. So let's say that we have this one here. Now of course we weren't saving a lot of things, but if I need to see what's going on, the first thing I can do is I can see the initial report with the videos and everything that's going on. So, I would have received an email alert that would have told me what's happening. And now I can visualize what's occurred, and it allows me then to start going through all the inner forms of, injured person details, witness statements. So everything as it's progressing is available either on the mobile or on the web for us to be in full control of what's happening. Now let's have a look at the checklist. You saw us visualizing how that works. Let's look at the general warehouse safety inspection process. We have one that we opened, as you saw, and here we can see all of those inner forms. Again, if you wanted to do this, on the web you can. So that's just a simple view of selecting what process you're doing, and you can visualize the same experience as what you've got on the mobile. So again, very interactive, our platform, and will definitely bring some transformation to the way we work. Now of course, all of this requires you to know how to do the process. So what we are very excited to share with you that everything that we have in the platform has a microlearning experience. And microlearning is very dynamic in that it allows you to be able to learn quickly how to do critical processes. So if we look at, for example, the general warehouse safety inspection one which we just showed you, maybe I want to learn how to do the process first. I simply enter my name, I recognize the privacy data policy, and then I can come down and then it will walk me through the whole experience of using the app and how the process is managed within Sonepar. And once you've read all of this and you've understood the process, there's a little test at the end to verify that you've definitely understood the benefits and how to use the platform in reality. So as you can see here, what was the first step before starting the warehouse safety inspection? You'll get a multiple choice. And we know that enter the inspection details and save to activate the inspection. So again, this is a great way of validating your knowledge and knowing that you understand how to get the best of the platform. And again, there's a lot more to the solution, but the most important thing is we need to visualize, have a real access to what's going on. We have an embedded Power BI dashboard that allows us to be able to see all of the data and the information that's occurring across the branches, across the distribution centers. These will continuously evolve for our organization. But again, if I go into full view, this allows us to be able to select the year, select the month, select the site, the status, and it gives us the ability to be able to drill down to where our non-compliance is, where any trends may be occurring. So again, that for us is very exciting to be able to do it. So if we can say I'm now looking at one particular site in Italy, you can see it's now narrowed that down for us. So again, very dynamic. And it gives you the ability to manage all of your trends and what's occurring across your business very easily. Now there's many other dashboards here that's been created very dynamically for you. And again, so here you can see the form summary. You can see, for example, the forms by site. And there's lots of also standardization here, so these are some of the industry standard measures that we can view. Things like, for example, we might want to start looking at incident classification. That will take a few seconds to load up. Pulling all the data from your systems. You might want to look at things like corrective actions. How effective are we in the timely closure rate of actions? So hopefully this has been a very interactive promo video for you. This is designed not to train you to use the platform but to be excited about what's coming. And this will only be as good as the users. And we are here to make sure you get the best from the platform. I hope you find this useful and best of luck on your journey with the Sonepar Digital A Safety Compliance journey.